All right, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. The NBA keeps on going, man. After the internet was just broken a couple hours ago, we get another big blockbuster trade. De'Aaron Fox is getting moved to the San Antonio Spurs in a three-team trade that involves Zach LaVine going to Sacramento. I'm going to break down this entire trade here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Look my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. I'm kind of mad right now because I literally just recorded this video and I realized I didn't hit record on my OBS. So my camera wasn't recorded. I just went like on a 10-minute ramble about this entire trade and wasn't even recording. So I'm kind of mad, but we're going to keep it together. But the NBA keeps on giving. Remember earlier when we said this trade deadline wasn't going to be much? Maybe you get a Cam Johnson. At the most, you get Jimmy. You know, it's going to be kind of like trade deadlines are kind of dead because the new CBA and all that stuff. Well, throw that out the window. Luka Doncic just got traded, and not even 24 hours later, now De'Aaron Fox is getting moved as well. The NBA continues to be the craziest TV show on earth because it's crazy. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox has been moved into the San Antonio Spurs. It's a three-team deal. We already knew after Shams last week dropped, well, last week, a couple days ago, whenever, dropped the report saying that the Kings are going to be listening to offers on De'Aaron Fox, with him potentially being a free agent in a couple years, and them they're looking like De'Aaron might not sign the extension with them and might leave elsewhere. They decided to open up the offers. He had a specific destination in mind. A lot of people thought it was going to be the San Antonio Spurs, and it ends up being the San Antonio Spurs that does end up getting him. It's a three-teamer as well. So the full trade is the Spurs are getting De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings are getting Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, 3 first-round picks, a 2025 Charlotte, 2027 San Antonio, 2031 Minnesota, and 3 second-round picks. And the Bulls are getting Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own pick back for this year from San Antonio. We all knew that we kind of assumed and realized that the Spurs were the destination for De'Aaron Fox. That's where he wanted to go, and he eventually ends up going there. And for the San Antonio Spurs to be able to get a player like De'Aaron Fox, because when we were thinking about De'Aaron to the Spurs, I was thinking, like, what is the package going to be? Are you going to have to give up Stephon Castle? You know, is Devin Vassell or Jeremy Sohan going to have to be included in a trade? A combination of 2 of those players, a couple first-round picks? Like, what's going to be? And for the Spurs to be able to get De'Aaron Fox without having to give up Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, or Jeremy Sohan, and not having to give up any of your, basically none of your young core, and the picks you gave up aren't the elitist of the elite picks that you have. You know, the interesting one is a 2031 Minnesota pick that you got in the draft day trade where you gave up Rob Dillingham to Minnesota. That could be interesting depending on what the Timberwolves look like in a couple years from now. But besides that, I mean, your own 2027 pick in 2027, 2 years, Wemby will be what? 23, 24 years old. De'Aaron will be here for a while. Like, that pick probably won't even do it. Won't be anything. You know, to us, it won't be a lottery pick or anything to us. So you can have that one. For the Spurs to be able to get a player like De'Aaron Fox, without having to give up basically anything of crazy value for him, is elite work by the Spurs front office. And what you wouldn't expect anything else from the Spurs. You know, they always find a way. And to be able to get De'Aaron Fox without having to give up basically anything crazy, wow. And now if you're the Spurs, you finally get the guy De'Aaron you needed. Now you could have a potential future of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama. That's, I mean, and you still have your young pieces. So maybe if another guy goes out there in the future, Jeremy, Devin, and a couple picks can go get you something else too. Like, it's just insane the job the Spurs did on this trade. You know, and now you also are in a good position because De'Aaron's going to make this team instantly better. You have this kind of year to maybe go on a little playoff push. I don't expect anything crazy from them. Maybe they sneak in as an 8-7 seed, give a good matchup to OKC or Houston or whatever. But now you have the full offseason. Now instead of waiting to the offseason and waiting for all this to get the guy in De'Aaron, you get him right now. So now you have a full rest of the year to have kind of basically a trial period where you're seeing, okay, how is this going to work? What players fit? What players don't fit? How can we use them? All right, let's see what happens there. And now you go into the offseason And like, okay, now let's put some more pieces together. Now let's really build this team out. So just an elite job from San Antonio. De'Aaron and Wemby, it's going to be a heck of a duo, man. Heck of a duo. And the Spurs are, I said it last year. The rebuild's over. The rebuild is over. And with this trade, it's really showing the rebuild is kind of over. Like, it's time now to go out and do something. And they got De'Aaron Fox, man. Very impressed for San Antonio. For Sac, and also, I mean, yeah, you're giving up Zach Collins and Trey Jones. Didn't even really play in the rotation. They're like 9, 10 guys in the rotation. City Sissoko isn't even really on the team. He's a G leaguer. Like, just insane. For the Kings, you know, they said they wanted some competitive pieces and still kind of want to be competitive without De'Aaron Fox. And, which was that the right option? Probably not. But I guess if that's the goal that they wanted to accomplish, they did accomplish it by getting Zach LaVine. All-star type of player. He's been having a really, really good season. And he come in, I mean, he's another all-star type player that is going to help your team. So at least if that's what you wanted to do, you got that. You got a couple first-round picks as well. You didn't get any young pieces for the future back, but you got a couple first-round picks back that maybe you can use in the future. Maybe if you want to do another move, you can have them, I guess. But if that's what the Kings wanted to do and that's the package they wanted, they did that. And now you have a lineup of Zach LaVine, Malik Monk. I don't know who that's a two-guard combination. I don't know who's going to be the point guard there. Then you have Zach, Malik, DeMar, Keegan, DeMontis. I mean, that's a lot of scoring. That's you're gonna score 130 points. You're gonna give up 135, but you're gonna score a lot of points with that lineup. And Zach and DeMar are reunited again, old friends. Yeah. So the Kings, I guess it's decent. Again, crazy that you don't get at least even one of the young guys from San Antonio, or even any of the very very top valuable picks for San Antonio. But I guess Zach LaVine was their consolidation prize, where they're like, no, we want some. We're walking out here with something. Walking out here with some winning, something that we want, and we want Zach LaVine. So they come in and they win the Zach LaVine sweepstakes, which is interesting because a long time ago, when Zach LaVine was a restricted free agent, the Kings actually wanted him and signed him to an offer sheet just for the Bulls to match him. That's funny, that the way the world works. And now the Chicago Bulls. Um, the Bulls end up being kind of facilitators in this trade, but maybe a little bit more because they also gave up an all-star in this trade. For them to give up Zach LaVine, who's been their best player for the past, 5, 6 years, multiple-time all-star, one of your maybe top 10 players in franchise history, one of your guys, your pillars for the past couple years, and for the package to be Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and your own first-round pick back, says a lot about what this organization has been in the past couple of years and what this front office has been in the past couple of years. I mean, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kevin Huerter are solid basketball players. That's not me saying they're bums. They're solid basketball players. But let's be honest, like we all know, those three are not doing anything for your franchise in the future. Those guys might not even be on the team next year. Like Kevin Huerter and Zach Collins might not even play for the Bulls after this season. The Bulls might flip them again, or they might, I don't know what their contract situation is off the top of my head, but like those three guys are not staying around Chicago for a very long time. And not even getting your own a future first back or anything like that. You're getting your own pick from this year back, which is top 10 protected. So basically, all this trade does is guarantee you that you're gonna have a first round pick this year, because their pick was in San Antonio. It's a top 10 protected pick. So if they would have made the play in or anything like that, they would have not had a first round pick this year. The only thing this guarantees them is that at least, hey, well, at least we're gonna have a first round pick this year, which probably will end up between 9 and 12 this year. So yeah, I mean, it's been the past couple years. I mean, they traded Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, straight up, no draft capital. Paid Patrick Williams $90 million, which looked like not looking great right now. But then again, in the moment, whatever. They traded DeMar DeRozan, who was an All NBA player and was a superstar in the 2 years in Chicago. He was amazing in those 2 years in Chicago. And what did they get back? Chris Duarte and like a couple second round picks. Basically trading another All NBA All Star type player for nothing. And now you trade Zach LaVine away for basically nothing, besides getting your own first round pick back and guaranteeing you're going to have a pick this year. Just says a lot about what the Chicago Bulls front office has been for the past couple of years. That just says a lot. I mean, just insane. I thought at least they're maybe gonna get back Harrison Barnes, which wouldn't have made things better, but I was like, hey, whatever. Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Herter, and your own first round pick back, man. Crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. I love the De'Aaron in San Antonio. Love it so much. De'Aaron and Wemby, that's going to be a heck of a duo. I cannot wait to watch it on the court. The Spurs, I mean, they win this. I think the Spurs definitely win this trade by a lot. Not saying the Kings lost this trade at all either. The Kings got back at least something that they wanted, and Zach LaVine, and they get a couple first round picks back. Which who knows what those first round picks look like in a couple years. But the Spurs, like, this is a fleece job for San Antonio. I mean, they didn't have to give up any of. They still have Castle, Vassell, and so on, and the Hawks picks. Like, insane, insane that they got De'Aaron Fox for that. You know, crazy. But yeah, the De'Aaron Fox era in Sacramento is over, and now the new Wemby and De'Aaron era in San Antonio begins. The Zach LaVine era in Chicago is over, and now the full tank job starts for the Bulls officially, especially after when Vucevic gets traded in another couple days. So yeah, let me know how you feel down below in the comments section about this trade from every side. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. We upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.